13-year pro and MLS Cup champion Quincy aka the Chip Amarikwa presents the Perfect Soccer podcast, where your host goes one-on-one to get to know your favorite and aspiring pro players and coaches both on and off the pitch. Today's episode is sponsored by the Perfect Soccer Ball. Buy 10 Perfect Soccer Balls for only $100. This special is now available for purchase at PerfectSoccerSkills.com/ball. Today's episode is also sponsored by the Perfect Soccer uniform. Custom designed jerseys and full uniforms starting from $25. Place your order for purchase at PerfectSoccerSkills.com/uniform. If you have any special requests or know someone perfect to be a guest on our podcast, please send us an email to contact@PerfectSoccerSkills.com. Thanks, and we hope you enjoy today's episode.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Perfect Soccer podcast. Our special guest today is Quincy Amarikwa. It's a special one today because it's the 100th episode. We've been doing this since 2020. Quincy, what's up?
What's going on, brother? I'm excited for episode 100.
Yeah, when I started podcasting, it was like, I don't know what the exact numbers are, but in terms of percentages, but I remember it was something high, like say like 90% of podcasts don't last for like 10 episodes, something crazy like that. So we're at 100. So we're probably at the 1% at this point.
We're the 1% of the 1% of the 1%, bro.
For sure. And I know you listen to a lot of the podcasts. Overall, like what were some of your favorite episodes or favorite people that I had on, or something memorable about a podcast that you listen to?
Ooh, that's a big one. Just like my career, there's something I find that I really like about every episode and like every guest, and I think it speaks to kind of the ethos of just our brand and what we've been building for, over 10 years now. It's just like, you can learn something from anyone at any point in time. So I've really enjoyed that from the podcast itself, but like individual show guest members, I mean, we've had a lot. We're at episode 100, right? So like, it's been great to see Akeem. Like he's been on the podcast a couple times now. I'm just seeing his development and how things have gone over time. You've got like Donovan Pines was a previous show guest. Serena was even a show guest. You had Vanessa.
Serena cried on the podcast. that was the first. I got one of those too. Now I got someone cried on the podcast. We got that stat.
There you go. So like, there's been ebbs and flows, and like there's been ebbs and flows throughout this entire process, and seeing where everyone's at their stage in the process, their personal development, their business development, their professional development, and then the human element of all of it. Like at the end of the day, we're all humans. You know what I'm saying? We have emotions. We laugh, we cry. It's ups and downs. And, that's what the professional environment is as well too. Fortunately or unfortunately, how you ever want to look at it, like those aspects of like the human behind the brand or the name or the talent doesn't get as much attention as we felt was important or necessary early on. And I think that's why we're innovators and first in this space in a lot of capacities. Like you said, the stat, most podcasts don't go past episode 10. Here we are, episode 100 and beyond. And that's one of multiple shows that we've launched for different reasons. But I think the thing that's been true no matter what has just been like the intention and the heart we put behind everything we do here.
Yeah, for sure. Even like I know sometimes I hit you up and I'm like, all right, Quincy, you got to listen to this one. But I probably do that like every other episode at this point.
Pretty much. I mean, there's something for everyone in every episode. And the way we structured it was so that you can come back and re-listen to an episode at another time in the future, and you're going to get something of value out of it that you might not have gotten the first time, or a new angle or perspective or insight that I think is not only just valuable to you as an individual, but more importantly, just us as a team. Because hey, we got a big vision, we got a big goal that we have for ourselves across the board, and teamwork makes that dream work. And we think of every single person who's taking the time to invest a little bit of time of listening to a podcast clip or a full episode or resharing or liking or commenting as a team member of ours. And we're grateful for everybody who's shared episodes along the way or gained something of value or insight that they've been able to implement into what they do on a day to day. So like, yeah, bro, what we're doing isn't anything small, no matter what.
Yeah. And I think the consistent upgrades too we had over the years, just because at first we started with just audio, and a lot of people want to like make their podcast perfect. I think just starting in general of anything is always like hard for people to process, but like we kind of just did it. And as it went on, like it got better and better. Like we just did audio at first, like our graphics were there, and then we upgraded the graphics, the videos there now, the clips are there, all the things. Todor upgraded everything too, like from the clips. I think originally we just did like little videos. Now we got the captions and all the videos of the highlights of the players on the videos and crazy things.
Yep. Like, and if for anybody who's been on board with us from the beginning and just watched how we've learned and grown and adapted and made mistakes along the way, it speaks to our, the mentality behind us, and what drives us is that MSL, that mental strength league, right? Like you got to get out there, and to Paul's point, you got to just start and try something, but most importantly, you got to be consistent with it over time. And that consistency is going to allow you an opportunity to find ways to figure it out and to improve it and refine it over time. Just as I'm sure we all as individuals know, our preferences and the things we want or what we're willing to do changes over time. So does the audience and what they want to see or how they want to engage. And we've done, I like to believe that we've done a really phenomenal job as a team to meet the audience where they are. Always stay true to our values and what we stand for and what we believe in, but also open to evolving and improving as time goes on, because that's necessary in life and most importantly the professional environment, because that's where a lot of individuals want to get to, or at very least understand the intricacies of what is required to be and play at a professional level.
Yeah, for sure. Who are some people that you want to get on the podcast in the future?
Oh, I mean, you know me, man. I'm open. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to put any limitations on who can or can't be on the show. It's more so like what feels right. Where are people at in their process, and how can we help facilitate like the development of the game across the board? Like me thinking Luis, when Luis was on, thinking about where he was at in his career, right? It was his rookie season in indoor as a goalkeeper, right? And he's not only doing that, but he's doing insurance and building his insurance company along the way, right? Like that speaks to just like the go-getter attitude and mentality and figuring out along the way. And then we've had as guests as big as Bach, you know what I'm saying? Bakari was on here, and he's played at the top level in the top leagues in the world, and shared his thoughts and insights. And then you got someone like Mo Ali, who joined on board. And I remember when he was starting out in the space, like when he didn't have like any followers on any of his accounts, but he's just hustling and grinding and trying to figure out his path to find his own name and his own voice in the game. And then seeing how big he's gotten in his own respective field, and then learning about his process and how he decided to go full time all in on his accounts and his channels and stuff. Ooh, I'm thinking about Mike. When Mike joins, he's sharing not only about like the time that we had while we were playing together at Chicago, but his time in LA, and then where he's at post career and ways in which he can reflect on his process and constantly improves. Like we can go through the list. Earl joining on board in his capacity on us helping develop out the Be Pro side of things, but also just sharing his story and like the time we played together in DC, and then how he utilized a lot of those experiences to help further build out like our time management documented sheet. And then, we did the season goes on as a result of that early on. man, I mean, we could go through all the show guests and on an individual level and basis, but like, it's dope to see how all of these collective experiences in the soccer space have like, come stop by our show and shared their insights and thoughts in some capacity along the way. I mean, even me reflecting on it and thinking about it more, it's like
the range of people too is like crazy too, because you just said like he's like a soccer influencer who's Mo Ali now, I would say, and then we had owners on. We had I think one kid was, because I was trying to think if I had a girl that was on that she was going from high school to college. I think one kid was still technically in college, or he just graduated college. And then it was cool to also see that what couldn't have been planned because the soccer tournament wasn't around, but it was cool to see over the past 2 years all the alumni from the Perfect Soccer podcast playing in the tournament.
There you go. So thinking of the Perfect Soccer alumni, and it was even making me think, because I'm just reflecting on how many show guests we've had a lot, like Leslie Osborne, right? Player to now owner, you know what I'm saying? And then was even talking about all the multiple hats that she was having to wear while on her ownership journey and what that looks like. And I think the main point and takeaway is like, it looks different for everyone, but you also have to be open to basically playing every position and wearing every hat along the way. Sometimes you're customer support and you're dealing with fans and individuals who just hate everything that you're doing, and all they have is negativity to talk about how bad what you're doing is. But being open to receiving that feedback, that criticism, so you can make those adjustments and improve it so that it becomes exactly what everybody envisions it to be in the long run. And, there's wins and losses along the way to winning a championship. But at the end of the day, that's the goal. The goal is to win a championship, to win trophies, and to do it, consistently and basically build a dynasty in the sports space. I feel like, the podcast has been a great piece of what we've been building here over time. That's helping not only us achieve our collective team goals, like internally as a team, but more importantly, our larger vision goal, which is helping those who tune in how to accomplish their goals and learn from a diverse range of individuals who may look like them or may not look like them, or started where they started or started completely differently. Like, I think that is really valuable to be able to have access to, and something that I personally didn't have when I was coming up through my soccer development. So being able to facilitate providing those opportunities and providing that access, I think is a huge value add, and something that comes through in a unique way through each episode.
Yeah, I think it's crazy too. You kind of mentioned it about each person's journey to turn pro is like totally different. Even though like there are some top guys, even it was different than the other top guy or whatnot. Like even when there was like used to be Generation Adidas, and then they had contracts with. They couldn't get drafted even because they were already assigned to a team, even though they went to college, and all this weird rules and things like that. And then I was just like, and like one guy, I forgot who it was one of the goalies I had on. I can't remember who it was, but it was like he was like a top player, but he couldn't get drafted because they already had his rights. So it's like when you look on Wikipedia, it's like they're technically undrafted players, but like they were really good. So it was like weird. So it's like kind of weird to say you were undrafted, but you were like really good.
Yeah, soccer is a very soccer in America is a very unique.
Like basically any other sport in America, that's not the only other comparison would be like hockey, but you still get drafted and then they have your rights for 3 years, like while in college.
Yeah, and so I was even trying to think about like. Soccer has been very unique in how soccer in America, let me be very specific, right? Soccer in America has been very unique in how it's gone about building itself. It's understandable how it's had to go the routes it has to compete with the other top sports here in America. Unfortunately, at times that has resulted in not the most positive or advantageous experiences for players along our journeys. But as you know, we always speak to and look at the positives in any situation, and that's how we further develop a resilient mindset that creates a great platform for us to keep pushing that positivity, pushing that purpose, pushing the positive message that the P in Perfect Soccer represents and stands for, right? And pursuing your passion, pursuing your purpose does require a lot of your dedication, energy, focus, attention, and consistency, and being able to articulately and accurately describe and share what can at times be a lot to be a professional and maintain a professional standard is a reason why only the 1% of the 1% of the 1% tend to make it to that level and then stay at that level for a long duration of time. So this is cool to just reflect on 100 episodes. Like when you put your head down and you're focused and you're working on something, like taking the time to stop and reflect on the work you've accomplished and achieved is something that I think as pro athletes we could probably do a better job of at times. And here's an opportunity to do that. So this is cool, man.
As you know, we've had difficulties, and I say like all the time on our Slack, I'm like, I go on hot streaks and cold streak with trying to get the guests. Like sometimes I'm like racking up 3 in 1 week, and then I go 0 for like a month, and it's like, what is going on? Like sometimes it's like somebody could be like, oh yeah, I can do it tomorrow. I'm like, all right, well, I might not be ready, but whatever, since you're available, I'll do it, whatever. And then it might be like just chasing people. Like I hate when they say yes and then they just don't come on. Like that's the worst. You can't say yes to me, but because I'll follow up.
Hey, hey, tie it on that. Consistency is key, man. Like, there's a.
So don't say yes to me if you're not going to do it. Pretty much.
Hey,
that's
there you go. Yeah, and hey, look. Oh man, yes, and yes. Like being consistent, showing up, doing the work. That's something that we're going to do. So to your point, if you're saying, yeah, you want to be on the show, then okay, cool. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. If you don't want to be on the show or you can't make it work, hey, be respectful of them in the sense that you're letting us know that you're not able to, because don't have Paul over here spinning his wheels for weeks on end, trying to schedule time to have the meeting, man. No, I hear you.
Oh. All right, you ready for I guess it's a new segment. It's going to be Quincy 2020 versus Quincy 2024.
Okay, okay, let's hear.
Present. So all right, so in 2020, when we did this interview, you were coming off the DC United year and you were a free agent. And the month was in January. So yep. Tell us, I guess, where you are now currently, but then I guess reflect on the past 4 years of you playing in different USL and TST and all that.
Okay. So 2020, that's a free agency year, MLS, right? But then everything shut down. Yeah. So as things were
at the time, I believe you said it was your second time ever going through free agency.
Yeah. Would that be my second? Yeah, it might be my second
2020 spell. Because obviously then you went through more.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we're saying in 2020, yeah, I'm going into my second spell of free agency, but it happens to be when like the whole world shuts down with stuff. And then I think by the time stuff starts opening back up, my thinking at that time was, okay, get some games at the end of the season. And that's when I joined Las Vegas, right? For maybe it was like the last three months of the season or 2. It was such a the
COVID.
There's a bridge thrown in the whole problem. Yeah, exactly. So it's like seasons were condensed and changed and all that. And
I remember you just popped up out of nowhere in Vegas. It was just like,
all right, hey, we're in Vegas now. Let's do it. So that was
I was surprised because at the time I didn't know that there was a team in Vegas either.
Hey, there you go. Hey, listen, when our heart's in the development of soccer in America, and I got a team member in Paul who's super focused in on baseball. I need him to know what's going on in the soccer space, the soccer ecosystem. So if I gotta show up and sign with Las Vegas so that he's paying attention, then let's do it, bro. But yeah, man. I mean, so I played with Vegas in, was that 2020, and then
wasn't that with one of the coaches you had before?
Yeah. So Frank Yallop had stepped in to help out with them at that point in time, because I can't remember who the coach was before then. Got fired or stepped away or something like that. And yeah, I linked back up with Frank, spent those couple months there. And then I think he had ended up moving on to he ended up in Monterey, but I think he just recently moved on from Monterey. So I don't know where he's heading next or what his plan is, but I'm trying to remember. What was the question you even asked me? What are we talking about?
Oh yeah. So then, I'm just talking about afterwards. So you were a free agent again, then 2021. After that, then you signed with the Oakland Roots.
Yeah, I joined Oakland Roots. Got to link back up with Akeem there. Unfortunately for Roots at the time, their last place, I think it was 1 win in 12 or 14 games at that point in time in the season, bottom of the table. But a positive side was they had just moved up to USL Championship that year. So I say we because I think of the Perfect Soccer team, right? We're a whole squad. When I'm going somewhere, my Perfect Soccer team is coming with me. We joined them for the last 3 months of that season, which had 20 games in it, and we went 10-5-5. We went 10-5-5. We made the last playoff spot, so we went from bottom of the table, last place, to making the last playoff spot, and then we beat the number 1 ranked seed that was on a 25-game unbeaten streak, and got the first playoff win in club history, and then got that hockey. I think you'd said hockey. I got that hockey assist for the first goal in Roots history, which was dope. And this is making me think of we actually just went stopped by what was it, a week ago or 2 weeks ago for the 5-year anniversary. While I was up in Fremont playing in the Fijian tournament, which we got another trophy and championship. So shout out my squad. And while we were there doing the tournament, we were able to make our way to the Roots game for the 5-year anniversary. So that was cool. And even linked up with Chewy. That was making me think we gotta get Chewy on the podcast. I don't think Chewy's been right. I don't think you've talked with Chewy. Chewy.
I don't know what's his first name. What's his real name?
That's Chewy. That's what we call Chewy. Chewy's his name. He's the one the hockey assist to then pass to Bokila to score the first goal in that playoff game. But he was at the 5-year anniversary as well too. And I think he just stopped. Playing with Monterey. So yeah, now we're you see how we developed the show and we're thinking through stuff. We're talking about things
you're answering the questions 5 questions later, but we're still getting the answer.
Oh, am I? Okay. All right. So I just try not to get too far ahead of myself. I'm just thinking of.
I'm saying no from before because I asked who do you want to have on the show. Now you're answering that.
Oh yeah, because you asked me and then I'm like, all right, well, let me think about that. This is good because you want to be open. You want to be open to new ideas, new approaches, new questions, and you don't want to be closed off to something. It's you don't want to block your own blessings. You don't want to close yourself off to some potential really amazing episode or an awesome story or an awesome point of view or perspective just because you're thinking that the person who has to be on the podcast has to be a pro player or had to do this or had to do that. It's that's what we're aiming for, but you weren't a pro before you became a pro. You were pursuing being a pro. So there's different hats. You heard me saying earlier on, there's different hats you got to wear. Sometimes you're taking feedback from people because they're mad at you or they don't understand the decision you made or how you did it or what's going on. But the game's 90 minutes plus stoppage time. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people. involved in the process every step of the way. And yeah, when you're asking me, Paul, when you're asking me questions like who should we have on, or who, I'm thinking of just like unique individuals with unique points of view or perspectives that I think would be of value for the audience to hear from. Yeah. And and then like you said, sometimes we go on hot streaks and cold streaks. Sometimes we can't, no one wants to be on the podcast, or they're not in a place or able or wanting. And then other times, hey, we've got, what do we got? I think we've got like the lineup. We've got like the next 5 or 6 show guests and interviews already lined up and ready to go. You know what I mean? So like, I think what you're sharing with me is like, I guess how I view the game, how I think about the game, how I approach it, both on and off the field. Sometimes it's not the perfect cookie cutter, like perfectly curated, manicured 15-second Instagram or Twitter Instagram or TikTok, video presented with perfect captions and everything like that. Like we as a team invest a lot of time in putting together and breaking down clips just to present those 15-second clips, right? Like hundreds of hours of our time has gone into that and making that accessible for everyone. And sometimes it looks a little messy, but no one has problems when Messi's on the field. You know what I mean? Most will say Messi's the greatest of all time. You know what I mean? So things got to get a little messy from time to time, because that's where the magic happens. And I think we've been producing a lot of magic and a lot of value for the soccer ecosystem for a very long time. And I'm very excited for the broader audience becoming more aware of the work, the great positive work our whole team has been doing for over a decade now. And it's interesting, when people say a decade, like 10 plus years is a long time. And to the point of what you're saying earlier, like consistency is key. And I believe we are showing and have been showing what consistency looks like, rain or shine, for a very long time. And getting to episode 100 is no easy task or feat. And especially with the amazing team that we have and the number of people that we have and supporters, it's a beautiful thing. So like, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to kind of even just reflecting on some of the questions and things that you're asking me here, so that we can continue to make improvements, and evolve, enhance, and advance the show. Because like there's always room for improvement. We can always get better, and that's what we're focused on doing.
Yeah, definitely. And then overall, like, we started the campaign, signed Quincy, I think it was in 2022. And then I know you said you're never retiring. So what's up with that?
Bro, never, bro. Retire from what? I guess the question is, retire from what? What does retire mean? What does that actually mean? Paul, help me understand. What does retire?
I got to tell you. So you beat out Zlatan in another thing. He officially retired and you didn't.
Sounds about right, bro. Sounds about right.
Well, and also on episode 1, now that we're on him again,
okay.
You said that judo, you almost went professional. You wanted to do all judo and MMA and all that stuff before soccer, or when you were little or something like that. And that's when you also said you wanted to fight him then. So you've been consistently saying that now for 4 years. So maybe it will happen now. He's retired. Now he doesn't have a big contract, so you can't say, oh, my team won't let me.
Exactly. There's no more excuses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm sure you could make up.
And like I mentioned to you last week too, Danny Simpson, who was a Premier League player, fought on Misfits, and Misfits boxing, they want to do MMA, so it might be the perfect opportunity.
First official Misfits boxing or Misfits MMA fight.
Yeah.
Paul, you are a boxing promoter, bro. You know what I'm saying? On the side,
David versus Goliath.
Thank you. If you're needing eyeballs, you're wanting this, and now you're now informing me. You're informing me that
just imagine Quincy at a press conference, like, oh my God, it'd be great. Then you get to go, like, see the thing with, like, I guess if you want to say traditional athletes versus boxers and MMA, you could actually say whatever you want and you won't get canceled.
We're in America, right? Freedom of speech, baby.
Well,
cancel.
We don't need to go. We don't need to. I mean, we could talk about that all day. But I'm saying in boxing and MMA, you can pretty much say whatever you want versus actually like an athlete in the MLS or MLB or NBA or NFL.
Disagree with that assessment, Paul. You are correct. Accurate in that.
Oh yeah, okay. I thought you just said that you disagree with that. I was going to say I don't know.
And I won't disagree with you.
Oh, gotcha.
And
so imagine,
okay.
It'd be hashtag Quincy Raw then, like at that point.
Quincy what?
Raw, uncensored. So you could say,
Quincy, it'd be Quincy it'd just be Quincy time, bro. It'd be entertainment, right?
Uncensored though.
It would be fun. It's not unfiltered. I'm just, I'm sharing my point of view. I'm sharing my opinion. I'm sharing based on my experience. Sometimes I'm right. Sometimes I'm wrong. But what I am is I'm consistent. And I've consistently said, just let me know when and where, and let's make this happen. You freelance or are part, I don't know how you describe it, but you are a boxing and fighting promoter. Paul, you're on the team. You've been hearing me say this for several years now. And I'm saying, hey, make it happen. Let's go. Let's make this work. But everybody always gives me all the reasons why it can't or it won't.
Well, and now, like I said,
how we make it happen.
Now it's at this point right now, it's the most realistic that it could actually happen. So we'll see what happens.
Tomorrow it's gonna be even more realistic. I'm saying what needs to happen to make it happen, then work backwards from there, and then boom, 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 boom. But I mean, how many years we're gonna duck and dodge this, bro? Like, there's platforms now. So Misfits,
it's gonna happen.
They want attention. Boom, let's make it happen. It's history here. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag Red is still free. Hashtag sign Quincy. That's what I'm saying. Like, retire. Retire from what, Paul? Retire from what?
Enjoy learning what it takes to become a better player from professional soccer players? Well, how would you like to work with professional players one-on-one? Now you can with Be Pro by PerfectSoccer. Head over to perfectsoccerskills.com/BEPRO to apply to work with our network of pro players today.
I don't know. Well, anyways, let's get on to the next topic. 925 and is coming up. You and Wayne Rooney. That's who I want to get on the podcast.
Ooh, okay. That would be a great one to have.
And going back to the combat sports, he wants to box, and he had an amateur boxing career back when he was little.
Oh, he had an amateur boxing career.
Yeah.
Hey, that makes more sense. I remember we.
Why, you fought some people in the locker room? You got some breaking news?
No. He didn't. What I was saying is, like, I think it's like Wayne. His stature is like a boxer. So, and I know he had talked about like being a fan of it, or I don't know if he was a fan or if he like took boxing lessons and stuff growing up and everything like that. So I could definitely see that. I mean, he's a strong guy. You know what I'm saying? I'd imagine he's got some knockout power.
For sure.
So if they can make that happen, I'd definitely watch. I'd for sure.
Oh, you're going to be on the undercard. You're going to be on his card.
Ooh, well, I like speaking that into existence. Yeah. I like that a lot. But then,
so tell me 925.
Oh, 925. That's that wave. That's that MSL wave. 9 plus 25 equals brilliant, bro. Like, we've been dropping high level memes for quite some time. People should check out. We'll celebrate that on the Perfect Soccer meme account. I forgot. Shout out Dream Wave was a fan and follower in DC at that time. He had made some dope music and artwork to almost like commemorate the photo, and then we celebrate that on 925. So that's coming up here soon. So that's pretty dope. I think it's just like, it's cool. Now we're just really thinking about my time in DC and the fans and people who supported us along that time. Oh, and that's where, Sign Quincy, that's where we launched it. Right. And so if you think about George Bottistelli, shout out him and Caleb. Caleb he just won his championship I want to say it was like a week ago. And I saw even Bill Hamid was in one of his photos with him there. Right. And shout out Bill. We did the 3 S's of self-awareness talk at Bill Hamid's camp back in, was that the end of 2019? And then has Bill been on Bill's been on the AskAsoccerPro show, but he hasn't been on the Perfect Soccer podcast yet. So Bill would be great to have on. And especially because I think I've been watching Bill consistently post some of his goalkeeper clips and stuff for several months now. And I think he just signed with like a UPSL club, or maybe it was a NISA club. So he's still playing. So shout out former teammates and stuff. He's still bringing professional level down to the amateur levels. But I think this even connects to, and shout out Kareem Ray, who is a Perfect Soccer podcast guest as well to you. Shout out to him, because in our conversation, I spoke with him about like, you can bring a professional attitude, a professional mentality, and a professional approach to any level at any time, wherever you're going. And that's what you should bring. So whether you're playing in NISA, you're playing in UPSL, you're playing in a random co-ed league or game in indoor soccer, bring a professional mentality, bring a professional attitude and approach, because you never know who's watching. You never know, what opportunity might be just around the corner from you. And you always want to stay ready so you don't have to get ready. You know what I mean? Like, so, I'm really thinking about like previous, teammates, show guests. I'm even re-answering the question from earlier, because now I'm thinking like, who else could we get on? Who would be great to speak to? I think it'd be great to have, Bill on, just like his point of view, where he's at right now. And then, this stemmed from 925, right? Which is coming up.
We're going backwards.
Are we? What are we?
No, I'm just saying you're answering past questions again.
It's we're time travelers, bro.
I forgot this one, but also I think that was 20. Well, it wasn't really when we first started working together, but sort of. I was emphasizing to you that you got to use that you're an MLS champion more. So over the past 4 years, have you been using that more?
We've been not in person. I don't like walk around.
No. No, that's not a good look for anybody.
No, not at all, bro. We've been utilizing that in I guess utilizing it, making reference to it, because that is a big accomplishment in the soccer space. You know what I'm saying? Like winning an MLS Cup, being on a championship team, like that's a big deal. And not very many people have the opportunity or even are in a position to be able to say that they won a championship or won a trophy. So like when you had shared that with me for the first time.
This is good now, because old Quincy was like, I don't really think about it like that. You didn't think about it like that back then. Probably because you're more active. Like still like active playing, I'm saying, playing wise.
Yeah, you know what? Even you saying that is making me think of just like the conversation we've had so far up to this point, where I'm kind of like reflecting on questions you've asked and like the just process of how I view the game and how I think about it, or how I thought about it, and have been developing over time. Like, and I think you even said this before, like I don't think like most traditional players. So it's just like when
I first met you, like you didn't think winning the MLS Cup was a big deal. And I was like, no, you're a champion. Like when you retire, quote unquote, when people retire, that's why people like, for example, if you didn't win the championship and you were just a 14-year pro, they'd be like, okay. But like, for example, like say when MLS wants to promote stuff or somebody wants to, even if you won the NCAA championship, it's a better example. It's like when those tournaments start, then advertisers want champions to advertise their stuff because, at the time they couldn't get college kids, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I do know you, and that does make sense. And even think of an
Because now,
NCAA.
like for even like speaking engagements or something, they're like, oh, okay, Quincy won a championship, so he has like a status, like a different status than like a guy that was. Who are they going to pick? Like a guy with a 14-year career and didn't win anything, or a guy with a 14-year career and won a championship?
That's it, and I mean that's a good point. And the thing that I always try my best to be open to is the idea that you can be wrong or you can improve. So when Paul's asked me, hey, why don't you lead with that? I go, hey, I didn't think about it like that. Let's think about it like that, and let's see how we can improve or evolve our thinking. And then you even mentioned NC2A champion, like shout out Ross LeBeau, right? His previous Perfect Soccer podcast guest. He's an NC2A champion, right? And then when we talk about the first book that we wrote, which is the Ultimate College Soccer Recruiting Blueprint, we discussed, basically we brought together his story and my story. My recruitment process is the way you don't want to do it. His recruitment process is the way that I believe everyone should do it. And that's why he had 25 recruitment offers by the time he was a senior, and got to pick where he was going to school. He ultimately went to UVA and won a championship there, and then eventually got drafted. And that's when we got linked up in Colorado when we won our championship in 2010. And and through those experiences and through that relationship and friendship on and off the field, that was like the basis for launching Perfect Soccer and setting our long-term goal and vision, and just the development of that over time, and to where we are today, where we're still in that free agency. Hashtag sign Quincy, Paul. We still going strong, bro.
And
we're dropping
it's open-ended. So free agency to what? To MMA or what? Like, what are we doing here?
Listen, I can freelance as an MMA fighter, bro. I've been shout out again. Hey, Kareem, I'm giving Kareem another shout out here. Previous show guest. We did his OSN podcast. I'm an advisor on the OSN board of advisors for business development, and just speaking with him, the unique angle I took when I joined professional sports was I was already thinking about and preparing for my post-career, as I was, before and from the beginning of my career. I think you could probably talk to a lot of my former teammates, and they'll probably share a lot about maybe I was speaking too much or doing too much, or positive and negative. But I think one positive from that for sure is I was coming with the right intentions, and I was of the belief that we should be preparing for post-career, because it's like that's the practical thing to do, and we're all going to have to be post-career eventually one day. And I think because of that, I'm blessed enough to be in a position where I can continue to play. I can continue to, refine my skills and get better. It looks different than how most would envision it, but there's so many more opportunities in soccer today, especially here in America, that didn't exist 10 years ago, 20 years ago. And like you heard me say before, I can bring a professional approach and a professional standard and level to anywhere I go. And big shout out to Christopher Court in UPSL. He was on the Perfect Soccer podcast as well too. We played in a 3v3 tournament at MLS All-Star, and you can play anywhere, anytime. That's why we love the game. That's why it's the beautiful game, and it connects all of us in some way or some capacity. So I'm going to always play soccer I'm going to play soccer. I'm going to do that, Paul. Whether I play at a professional league or professional club, that is not my decision to make. That decision is in the hands of other individuals. I cannot control that. What I can do is I can do the work to be the best player I can be, the best teammate I can be, and be fit and ready to go if and when that phone call is made, or that text is made, or that email is sent. And that's what I do. That's what I make sure I accomplish and do every single day. And then we see where things land. And if Paul, we gotta sign this pro contract, go play, then make our way to fly over. Where are we gonna have this MMA fight? No, where is it gonna be?
In the UK, London or something, probably.
Or what about the Dome? Or the Sphere in Vegas?
The O2 Arena.
O2 Arena? Okay, so it's going to be in the UK. That's fine.
Yeah.
What about the Sphere? What about the Sphere in Las Vegas?
Probably not. They do it in the UK. The sales are going to be in the UK.
Okay, so that's where the most eyeballs and that's where we get the biggest crowd, draw the most people.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, then let's do it. Why haven't you already made that happen, bro? That's where I'm confused.
We gotta start tweeting.
Been tweeting, bro, for years. Are you going to be tweeting consistently? Huh? I need that. I need you to be promoting this so that we get this locked in and this happens.
We gotta get a video of you training too.
Do we want them to see the training, or do we need to get it locked in?
But that's what I'm saying. You don't like. We'll talk about it off camera.
Okay, fine. I'm saying, like, look, we don't need you to be trained. I don't want to. Oh, you've been training? No, I haven't even been training yet. I haven't even started training. I'll start training once he agrees to it. So then now there's no excuse. Like, oh, you're doing all no training. I've been training for soccer. That's what I'm focused on. That's what I'm doing all the other stuff. But if we're going to do this fight, then however much time we have, that's the time I have to train for this.
Maybe we'll do one of those videos like Kyrie Irving dressed up as the grandpa, and like you just go pick up soccer, or like my boys, and then they'll be like, and you just you don't even have to dress up. They won't know who you are, and they'll just be like, and you just go off, and they'll be like, who the hell is this guy?
I like that. I like that idea. Let's do that one. I like that a lot, actually. Hell old. Look like I'm like 90 years old. Just
yeah. All right. Let's go with the Quincy questions. Let's go quick though.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you what you said in 2020 after you say your answer today.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. So, what is the most important skill or quality that you feel has made you successful as a pro player?
Mentality.
Yep, that's what you said in 2020. Bingo. All right, this will be interesting. I think you might say there. What's the biggest mistake you think pro players are making?
Oh, the biggest mistake?
Yeah.
I feel like earlier on, I would say like not preparing like for post career, but I don't think that that's the biggest mistake anymore, because I feel like I like to think that we've done a really great job of helping educate this next generation of soccerpreneurs. So the biggest mistake that pro players are making is not working with PerfectSoccer. You know what I mean? Joining if you aren't a part of our team, you are doing yourself a disservice, and I mean that through and through. So I think
that was the correct answer from 2020.
Oh, was it? That was the same from 2020?
Well, the first part.
Oh, got it. Well, hey, we got to update. Like, we got to update involved. Like, if we weren't doing our job, I wouldn't be able to.
And that makes sense too, because obviously when you started your career, like I'm pretty sure athlete entrepreneurship was like pretty slim or not talked about.
Correct. It was seen as,
or it was probably frowned upon.
It was seen as very negative, and I had a lot of not so positive experiences because I viewed.
Even when you started your YouTube channel, I can imagine they probably thought you were crazy.
Yeah.
And now look at it. Now look at YouTube.
Shout out, hey Quincy, hey yo, shout out Quincy time. You know what I mean? Shout out one of our original graphic designer and illustrator, Matt. Matt Watson. We actually we got to see him at the what do you call it? At the 5-year anniversary. So he's coaching now. He's coaching full time now. So it was great to see him. He's a great human, really good person. Okay. What? Oh, you said okay. So that's the second one. Now you say third.
So the third one, I kind of changed it up over the years, but so it's usually what advice would you? I just say what advice would you give to a young player now? But at the time it was what advice do you give to a young player trying to make it to a pro league?
Oh, got it. So like, what's advice that you give to a young person?
Yeah.
Advice I'd give to a young person is, and I'm pretty sure this is definitely me. I'd say, so I say practice your 3 Ps, which is position, patience, practice. But and specifically to practicing your 3 Ps is though it can be difficult, try your best to try to hear and understand your elders. Instead of trying to just prove them wrong or think they don't know what they're talking about or what they're doing, try your absolute best to hear them and try to understand from their point of view first before making whatever decisions it is that you feel are needed to be made.
Yeah. So, in 2020, like I said, it was like kind of more towards advice for turning pro. So you said, play the game for the reasons why you love it and focus on that. And then if you want to go pro, start studying pros and start doing outside training besides the mandatory training. That was a summarized version because yours was like
okay. And I'd say that is very accurate. That still holds true. So if you want to go pro, for sure.
What is something that most people think is true that you believe isn't? Actually, when I listened to yours, I'm going to give you that you had the best answer of everybody.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was the best answer. It was the realest answer.
What was it?
I don't know. What's your answer now?
Okay. So what's something that I believe is true that most believe isn't?
Yeah. And people that are listening that maybe didn't listen before, Quincy actually made these questions. So this is why it's funnier.
Oh, okay. Okay. For where we are now. Oh, okay. I'm gonna put like framework on the point of view or what I'm answering now. Most people don't believe that. Yeah, I won't say unfortunately. Most people still don't believe that Bitcoin is like of value. So most people don't believe that Bitcoin is of value. Most are on the sideline just watching it because like.
I agree with that. I don't know what the percentage is, but I know the percentage of people owning crypto is slim.
It's very small relative to people. It's small, but I would say that most people believe that that'll be the case. And what I'm saying is, no. I think a lot faster than most people will realize. A majority of humanity, if you're connected to a phone or the internet, you will own cryptocurrency, and you will be your own bank.
Yeah. I think they're making it easier too with all the apps to get it.
Yeah, but more so like understanding the importance of it and why. You know what I'm saying? So like, same as where I think people would say like early on where they're saying like every person's going to have their own personal computer in their hand. You know what I mean? Like that was considered like completely out there and wild, or your own TV in your household. Like I think sooner than later that'll be just common knowledge and what people do. It's like, so that's what I'd say, which I'm sure is extremely much different than whatever I had said on episode 1.
So you said most people think they want to hear the truth, but they actually don't.
Ooh.
It's real. That's true. Because someone ever say to you like, all right, you could be honest, and you're honest, and they'll be like, what the heck?
Okay, here you go. That is what the younger version of Quincy like couldn't really grasp. People be like, oh, be honest. Where you said, early in this, you said Quincy raw, unfiltered. I'm like, it makes me laugh because I'm like, someone would ask me what I think. I would share what I think, and then I would find out that they didn't actually want it. It's just like, bro, you
were too cutthroat.
It's just direct. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're if you're asking me, Quincy, do you like spicy food? I'm like, no, I don't. Then you're like, how can you not? You're mad at me for sharing with you if I like it or not. And like now I'm responsible because you like that goes into a whole nother stuff. The thing that's most important is at the end of the day, professional sports is entertainment, bro. Just like the fight game is entertainment. And I'm waiting on my fighting promoter to make this happen, bro. And then I can say whatever I want because it's helping promote the fight. tell them to promote the fight. You have 4 years of content, bro.
Basically, if it makes money, you could say whatever you want. That's America.
I mean, hey.
All right, last one. What is something you would move forward with if you weren't scared of what would happen if things didn't go well?
Something I move forward with that I wasn't scared of. Usually, if I'm scared, that's something that we have to move forward with.
All right. So what you said in 2020, you said everything I've done up into my career, up until this point.
That's levels, bro.
kind of similar.
Oh yeah, it's the same, bro. That's where I'm just giving like, okay, hey.
All right. Here are the two like newer ones that you didn't answer. So why are you passionate about soccer?
I'm passionate about soccer because it's the gift. It's one of the many gifts my parents, and specifically my dad, shared with me that was just for the love of the game. You know, so when you hear me say, hey, what does retire even mean? Like, I watch my dad, who's almost 70 now. And I'm just reflecting on numbers. Almost 70. I watch him still sprint on a soccer field on Saturdays. And then someone's going to come and tell me.
He's not retired.
No. You guys want to come out? If you go look at my Insta when I'm sharing, like when I'm having the most fun and I'm enjoying myself and the reason why I love the game and why I fell in love with it and the passion and commitment I have to it, out there Saturday, Nigerian League in Bakersfield, California. And it's been open and anyone can come and join us and play every Saturday. I've been doing that for over 30 years. And that's what I'm saying. I can go out there and I watch my dad still sprinting, almost 70s. And then people try to tell you, oh, you're old at 30. Like your career is done at 35. You can't do anything more at 40. I'm like, don't put your limiting self-belief, your insecurities on me and the people around me. Like, if you don't think you can do it because you don't think you can for whatever reason, fine. That's you over there. And if other people want to go subscribe to that and they want to go join and participate in that, be my guest. Like, it's America. This is America, bro. Freedom. You have the freedom to do that. What it says. You have the freedom to be an idiot if you want to. That's what's beautiful about America, bro. If you want to be an idiot, you have the freedom to be an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like, fine. I do too. So I do too. So if you think I'm an idiot, cool. That's my freedom. I have my freedom to be an idiot. That's how I know we're in America. Leave me alone. You know what I'm saying?
This is random, but it popped up in my mind. Actually, and you had over this last 3 years or whatever, 3 or 4, you had another kid.
Oh yeah, Captain Amarikwa, baby.
Wait, how old's your oldest?
7.
So does
5 and 2.
So does he know, like, you're a professional soccer player? Like, does he understand it?
Yeah, I think they understand. Like, as because you just this all stems from, you asked me why am I passionate about soccer? I said because my dad made it an environment and experience where it's just about just enjoyment and fun and passion and loving it, and that's what I wanted to make sure I shared with my kids, because even though I play professional and I can take it very seriously and it's regimented and disciplined and it almost removes all the fun from the game, that is not something that you want to then. I don't want to rob my children of that beauty of it. So a lot of the stuff, and that's why I say when I think about this is where and why, because we developed this show 2019 going into 2020, right? And that's when we developed. Let me see it. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, look. The Perfect Soccer mini ball. Right? Let me see. Is this one? Oh yeah. Shout out. Woo. Shout out to AkeemWard. Right? He signed it. We went and watched him play like 2 weeks ago. But what's my point? Oh yeah, we developed the Perfect Soccer mini ball because we want every kid to never go a single day without a positive connection to the game. Right. And that's like my gift to my children and just people in general, to just have a real positive, fun experience with the game. Because that's what it should be. That should be the focus. That should be what drives everything. And then after enough time is invested in the game and all of those things, if the kid or the individual, preteen, teenager, adult decides they want to take it seriously, they want to go professional, they want to do that thing, then okay, hey, we have those things available to you. You can pursue those things. That's where you're hearing stuff where we got like Be Pro by Perfect Soccer, we got Perfect Soccer Skills Academy, all of our other products, services, books, and resources. But yeah, I think my boys understand it because I'm able to bring them with me to the different soccer engagements that we do regularly, right? So like we get to go down and play on Saturdays. They came with me to the Fiji tournament up in Fremont last week. So I'm juiced about the photo with us holding up another. I'm a champion again, Paul. I got another trophy, bro. That's pinned on the IG account, and I got my boys there with me, and that's a beautiful thing. And I'm forever grateful for that, and all the people and all the things that poured into me to be able to, play this game for as long as I have, and I'll continue to play because playing is a gift, and yeah, there's just a lot. There's a lot more to give the game and to learn from it, and there's multiple points of view and positions. Player coach I think suits me real well, and yeah, man, like I think my boys. Yeah, it's dope. They like it. They have their own aspects of the game that they like. They have the parts that they don't like. They want to.
Have you went to like do they do like bring your parent to school day, and then you have to say like you're a professional soccer player?
Oh yeah. So I'm on another super flex.
Is that like awkward?
No. No, what are you talking about? I'm gonna flex super hard. You know what I'm saying?
Or like, are the other parents like, oh shoot?
You have to talk to. Maybe we'll get some other parents on it. But my flex is I'm on the PTA, bro. I've been on the PTA out here. You know what I'm saying? Juiced about it. Making things happen, bro. I'm trying to. That goes on to a whole nother stuff. But
it's a whole other world. I don't know.
Juiced on developing that, and then connecting that to just the farm. AmarikwaAcres.
Yeah.
Year 4 in that.
Or do you say you're a farmer now?
I'm a farmer now. Been, bro. Year 4. Got my certification.
You should do a test. Like if you do that again, we'll say when your younger son goes to school, and then instead of like introducing yourself as a soccer player, just be like, oh yeah, I'm a farmer.
Oh yeah, bro. Introduce myself.
No, just straight up say you're a farmer. Like don't say anything else and see what like the reaction is.
Okay, yeah. I do that too, bro. I'm a farmer.
All right, cool.
Yeah, what do you farm? Farm pigs. We're at AmarikwaAcres, bro. Go to AmarikwaAcres.com. We just finished the second season of Fig Harvest. I
don't think people would believe you though.
Yeah, but most people don't. Paul, here's the thing. Most people don't believe anything I'm saying because they have this limited belief system of what the person is capable of doing based on their own limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
Don't put that on me.
All right, hold on. Let me not get you down a rabbit hole here. All right, last Quincy question.
Holes of humanity, bro. Perfect Soccer podcast episode, bro. Yeah.
Oh, how do you prepare for being unprepared? This is a bonus Quincy question.
Bonus Quincy question. How do I prepare for being unprepared?
Yeah. You're gonna say I'm never unprepared.
I'm not going to say that. I was prepared for that. Woo! Look at that already. Woo! It's a new version of Quincy. Ducking and dodging like I'm going to dodge all these. Bro, it's going to be levels when people are watching this fight. Okay? It's going to be amazing. That's one piece. The way I prepare is what I've been doing, bro. Come out to AmarikwaAcres. I'll show it. Quincy, I'm a farmer. Oh, how? We don't believe you. What are you talking about? What does it matter if you believe me or not? What matters is true. And the truth is true whether you believe it or not. I've been preparing for post-career since before I started going pro. That's what I started doing so I could be prepared. I understand that your career will end one day. It doesn't mean it has to end today. It doesn't, you know what I'm saying? It will. So prepare for that. 2020, shut down. What are we doing, bro? We're prepared. AmarikwaAcres.
We're online.
We're online out here. Digital real estate, physical real estate.
PerfectSoccer was the first company to go fully remote before remote.
Thank you. First professional athlete to go live on Instagram. You realize that? I was first professional athlete to go live, literally live. And it was a live stream of a video podcast. We're talking about how do you do stuff on the fly? Boom. This is what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? OG mentors, we're not even you see where we're at right now, Paul? You see where I'm hosting this episode 100 where I'm super juiced about? And I told you we're time travelers.
Yeah.
We're in the Evolve NFTs locker room, bro. EvolveNFTs.com, where sports culture and Web3 culture come together. We're 2.5 years. We're going into year 3 of this. Looking at the first professional athlete to mint an NFT project, bro. Shout out Frequency. Woo!
You ready for some fun questions?
Haven't all these questions been fun, bro?
Well, more fun.
Okay.
Is it soccer or football?
It's soccer, bro. It's soccer. And it's funny. I was thinking about that.
What if you go to another country?
Soccer. What are you talking about?
You say soccer to them?
Soccer. I mean, hey, look, it's soccer. If they ask me, hey, will you call it football? Football? Yeah, I say, yeah, I'll call it football. But if you're saying, you just ask me, what is it for me personally? It's soccer. That's what it is. That's what was introduced to me. If you tell me I'm wrong,
all right. Two-part question. Who do you like better, and who do you think is better at soccer, Messi or Ronaldo?
Oh, I was thinking about this too. Messi is.
This question's a big hit too, by the way. Obviously.
Yeah, Messi is better skilled. Like, there's been no one who's more talented and skilled than Messi. But there is not a single person in soccer, we'll make it very specific, or football, however you want to describe it, that has more commitment and dedication to their craft than Ronaldo. Like,
you think Ronaldo's a harder worker?
Yes. That's not even, I wouldn't even say that that's even close.
Who would you rather play with?
What do you mean? Who would I rather have on my team?
Yeah.
I'd need to put some qualifiers out there before I answer that question. But that I don't know if that makes it fun. But that's fun to me to talk about. There's situations where I would want Messi, and there's situations where I'd want Ronaldo.
Okay. What about, who do you think is the best soccer player ever?
Talent and ability. Like gifted talent and ability, it's Messi. It's Messi. But having the best talent and ability doesn't necessarily mean.
But yeah, I think again that goes back to winning though. Like he won the World Cup now, so I feel like he solidified himself.
Yeah, I think so too. But I also believe a lot of people wanted to see him win that World Cup because of that. I think he embodies what a majority of people would prefer their professional athlete to embody, right? He's not really flashy. He's not like over the top, as far as I'm aware and knowing. He hasn't said like anything like
he's like DerekJeter.
Yeah. There you go. From a baseball point of view. Yes. And that's cool. But
yeah.
But when you think on long term, or just like the reason we watch sports in the first place is like it's for entertainment, and it's just as much the trash talking and your ability to showboat and to bring attention and stuff as well too. Like, I think the reason why Messi's able to do it the way that he does it is because he's such a generational, gifted, talented person. Yeah. On top of the fact that he's worked very hard to greatly increase his God-given gifts. So like he had God-given gifts, God-given ability, and then he also worked really hard, had people who identified that early, poured into him, had the support of that for a very long time, and was with, for a very long time. So he's achieving like his fullest potential, and that's an amazing thing. When I look at it, and I think from like a fighting perspective and point of view, the fighters who were talking the most trash along the way and bringing attention and doing that, those are the ones who, like McGregor, right? Like,
yeah.
Would you say he's the best fighter of all time? Like, does he have the best record and all that? No. Khabib, much better. Yeah, much better. But now we're talking about popularity versus ability and all that. And I'm not saying that any one way is right or wrong. I'm just saying, from the lens of sports entertainment, those who are vocal, those who have personalities, those who put themselves out there, those who are willing to talk trash or be willing to be made fun of or to look bad, I think that is a greater, like, that greater aligns with what entertainment is in the minds of people, especially in America. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm gonna put you on the spot, but you gotta really answer this question. Who was your favorite teammate that you played with? Not like because of you think they're funny or cool or whatever. I'm saying like your favorite teammate you ever played with that was like the best passer for you to get like goals and things like that.
Favorite teammate who is out
like
there
on the field type. Like, and
I'm putting them content. So I'm saying favorite teammate who actually was looking to pass me and get me the ball in the best positions and make me look good.
Yeah, like who was your like Scottie Pippen basically?
Hands down, it was Sergio McDonald.
All right, what team?
That was with Chicago Fire, and we never got to play together in games.
What do you mean? So how was he your favorite teammate?
Because you build chemistry and
you guys never played together.
It was all in training. It was all in like practice.
He got traded, or you got traded?
It was all in training. That's what I'm saying. It was all in practice and then like reserve league games. So we had reserve league games at that time. And I won't go into super details and weeds on that. You're just asking me, and I'm answering. Sergio, like he's a great player.
What about in game, like person that you actually played with?
We never got to really play together on the field. Only in training and practice. And I wish I had film of our training sessions and practice when we played together. Because if anyone looked at what we were doing, wild that we weren't playing together.
Like I remember one time you told me, but this was just, I think it was Wayne Rooney. You were just saying like how he placed the ball, like when he would like pass it to people, was like crazy.
Yes. So then if you don't have to understand, but I share this because I think it's important context. Like,
no, I think it's cool when you say stuff like that because obviously you're a pro player, but you're saying like you said like Wayne Rooney was like on a whole nother level compared to like all the guys, and you played obviously with like hundreds of guys.
Yes, but each player I played with is on a different level in a different aspect of the game.
All right, how about this? Who was like the best passer?
Best passers of the ball over like shorter, smaller distance was like Mehdi Bellucci. He was like his consistency. Like,
all right, how about this question?
Yeah.
If you had to build like, we're not going to go starting 11, but like forwards, like who else would you want around like you that you played with?
Lucho, Wayne, Piatti. It's nice.
And the other guy that you didn't play a game with?
Sergio.
Yeah,
for sure. Like,
and you're scoring like 100 goals with that squad.
We're doing numbers, bro. You're talking about all of us in our prime, like fit and in shape, like numbers.
All right. Last one. I think I already asked you this one too. Actually, we'll just go new. We'll go new school with this one. Jersey exchange with who would you want to do one right now, currently in the MLS?
Jersey exchange.
And you can't say Messi. It's too basic.
What's nuts is my mind wasn't even going in that direction. That's wild, bro. I wasn't even considering that. That's nuts. Okay. Jersey exchange.
Do you actually watch games?
I try to, like, here and there. Like
you enjoy it? Because I know people, some like athletes in general, just don't like watching their own sport. They just only like playing it.
I like playing it. I don't mind watching. The issue is just like I just usually don't have much time to watch. So like it has to be like, it's almost I'm watching games at random pretty much, because I think a lot of work goes into getting to episode 100 of this podcast. A lot of work goes into like all the things. I'm a farm. I know you're saying like, oh, people won't believe you're a farmer. I'm literally a farmer. You even heard me. We're delayed on getting this going because I was out on the farm a bit longer than I was expecting, because we're prepping and planning for upcoming season, and then learning from what worked or didn't work last year and the expansion of that, and an upcoming, employee course that I'm registering for. So, oh yeah, that's gonna. Oh, we have an order. We've got an order that we've got to fulfill.
We're gonna change up the question. Is there a farmer that you want to meet or ask questions to? Is there like I don't know. Is there gotta be famous farmers?
I gotta learn about who's famous farmers. I just know the farmers here in my local community individually.
Yeah. You don't look up stuff on social media?
No, you got to go local first before you're going national, global, bro. Come on, you learn where you are before you're talking about these super global stuff. I mean, I've done that before. You know what I mean? I played at a grassroots level, soccer, young, 3 years old, at the Nigerian leagues on Saturdays, like I shared with you, playing with players as young as 3 all the way up to 90 years old. That's where I learned my love for the game, and I still go and I play, and that's where I bring my boys to as well too. And on that journey, I became a farmer as well, because things happen. They shut down everything for sports in 2020. Boom, here we are, bro. Did that stem from you asked me about
a jersey?
Yeah, you didn't even allow me.
Back to the original question. Who's a new current MLS player that you want to do a jersey exchange with?
Let's do a jersey. Okay, I'll keep it simple. Let's do a jersey exchange with ChrisDurkin. Yo, shout out my boy Chris. He's in St. Louis now. He was on the podcast, and I saw that he scored a banger against Inter Miami. There you go. Like, yeah, let's go. Boom. There you go.
All right, that's episode 100 right there. So
episode 100, baby.
What do you want them to check out next?
Oh, on PerfectSoccer? Okay, check out perfectsoccerskills.com/ball. We got our 10 ball $100 special. That's gonna be going strong. Be promoting that heavy. You know what I'm saying? So support the brand, support us, support the team, and invest in yourself and invest in your future, because an investment in Perfect Soccer is an investment in your future self. Why would you limit investing in your future self? That's wild. Don't make that mistake. Hindsight's 2020. And in 2020, we brought the MSL vision. And our vision's only getting stronger and more refined and more valuable and more productive, just like us out on AmarikwaAcres, because we're farmers now, bro. But we always been. Think about that. And fighters in our free time. But now we're trying to do it through Misfits, boxing, MMA. And I'm going to be disappointed if they're finding another reason to duck and dodge before they're finding reasons to duck and dodge in the cage. You should only be ducking and dodging in the cage, bro. Before we get there, it should be straight up. And I need my boxing fighting promoter to make this happen, bro. Episode 100.
We're going to try to make it happen.
No. Paul, that's not good enough, bro. I want
we're going to make it happen.
By when? What are you going to make happen?
I don't know, by 2025.
Okay, by 2025, what is going to happen? What are you going to make happen by 2025?
You and Zlatan are going to have an MMA match in the UK.
MMA match, me versus Zlatan, 2025. Boom. Love that. And You heard it here, folks. Episode 100. Paul is going to make that happen. You just let me know what needs to. I think you shared with your friend about like, yeah, let's do that. We got to go on that tour, bro. Let's make that happen. 2025. I like that as the goal for episode 100. Right?
All right. Yeah. All right. Boom.
Quincy Amarikwa here, and thanks again for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to share it with someone you feel will get some value from it. And if you could take a moment to leave a review of our podcast wherever you're listening and let us know who you'd like us to interview next, we'll get working on that right away. You can listen to this full episode and more at PerfectSoccerSkills.com/radio. That's PerfectSoccerSkills.com/RADIO. You can also enter to win free weekly soccer prizes, goals, balls, jerseys, player meet and greets, and more by heading over to PerfectSoccerSkills.com/PSTM to enter to win for free today.